welcome back to the channel and welcome back to yet another episode of Restoring a JDM Classic, where we are restoring an 1985 FB RX7. Previous episode I showed you how I modified the fuel pickup. Okay. Reason I did that is, well, I did it for two reasons. It's very common with FBs to suffer from fuel starvation. Basically the lines to the carburetor, the fuel lines to the carburetor are a little small. The diameter is not the greatest. So I was going to do 6 AN and return minus 8 pickup. So once I put the fuel tank down, fuel tank wasn't restorable. It was it was very bad in bad condition. The inside flaps were all gone. Like I said, it had I could have put that on a scale and I had about 5 pounds of debris and all that. So I showed you how I did that. Now in this episode I am very simply, this tank that I acquired, let me start with, if you want to buy a new tank, Master Tricks or Atkins Rotary, they do have them. They run about $650. I think Master Tricks is cheaper, but the shipping and handling is a little bit higher. Atkins Rotary is a little more expensive, but the shipping and handling is a little bit lower. They both come out about the same. So that's your new option. Luckily for me, searching through Facebook pages, forums and all that, I found this one that I have here that is brand new. Basically this one was sourced out of 1984, I think, GSL or GSL SC, I don't know, I don't remember which one it was. They're basically the same tank. Where they change is from 84, 85, that generation, to previous generations, 83 and under, simply because, let me show you the spare tire. There's a little indentation here, there's a little well where the spare tire sits. Of course it doesn't sit on the tank. The chassis, the metal, the sheet metal on the vehicle has a wheel well there, so this is just to make up for it. That is going to be the only difference. They're still adaptable. You could mismatch them, but hey. So I actually found this one from that vehicle. I found it in Dallas, so I went the same day. I went and took the engine to the person that's rebuilding it. I went and picked up this tank. On the inside is brand spanking new, so I am going to clean it with dish soap and water, just because any debris that got in there while I was driving home, or this one, I've had it here for like 3 weeks, so something might have gotten in. But the only thing that I'm gonna do, if you notice, from storing it or the time, the tank, even though it was new, it was installed in the vehicle, and the person left it there. I guess he started a build and never finished it. So all I'm gonna do is do a little sanding where it has rust, sand it, get it nice and neat, and then put a coat of Rust-Oleum or some paint, just so it lasts. Whoever ends up with this car, remember guys, this is going to be a giveaway car, or it's going to be, we're going to raffle this car between the members. I don't know just yet, but let's start working on this. First things first, and I've already done this, I didn't want to bore you with that. Just cover all of the holes inside, all of the inlets into the tank. Basically filler. This is where the sensor for the fuel gauge goes. This is a the vent, and this is where the fuel pickup goes. So I always keep gloves that I put and they break or something. I keep them around just because I could use them for this. Painter's tape works great. I think it's the best alternative, but I always keep those around. So always have your gloves handy. And all that I'm gonna do, is, you know, with my drill, just get all the surface rust out and then sand it. I have several grits of sandpaper. You see, it's just a lot of surface rust, and that's from storing. I actually, you know, I'm working in 3 cars at the same time, so I actually didn't have space for it, so I stored it outside for a couple of weeks, and the rust it had resurfaced rust, don't get me wrong, but it got a little worse. Let's get it nice and neat. You know, where you can't see no more. Okay, so sorry about that. Battery got drained. So I'm using 120 grit and metal brush, just because it's just a little surface rust that I'm trying to get rid of. You know, I don't feel the need to go heavy with a heavy abrasive. So let me finish sanding this, and I'll continue with the next step, okay? So that's about as much sanding as we're gonna do. After this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna hose this down as much as I can, get it nice and clean. It's about 100 degrees out there, so I'm not gonna, you know, once I wet it all down and all that, by the time I come get the paint and all the you know, the spray paint and all that, the Rust-Oleum, that it's gonna be ready for paint. So let's hose this thing down. Okay, so we already sanded. You saw me, I just hosed it down, and with kitchen soap, just clean as much as I could. Next step is basically, it's all about preparation. Okay, we're gonna use engine enamel for it. But before, we don't want the rust to come back. So basically, I have acetone with rust remover mixed here. That's you know, I usually use that for everything. Also, the acetone will make it to where, you know, if there's any leftover gas, or if it's any oil, so on and so forth, it will take it off. There shouldn't be nothing in there. You gotta work fast with acetone because it will dissolve. It will dry out fairly quickly. So I'm just gonna wrap it around what I sanded. I am gonna paint the whole top, just so you guys know on the bottom there is a coating to it. That one was perfect, so I am not going to do, you see all that, even though I washed it with soap. I am not going to do anything on the bottom of the tank just because there's people that put bed liner material on it and all that, but it doesn't do anything. The original coating on this one at least is perfect. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cover again the openings, and this time we gotta do a better job of it than what we did before, just because we're gonna be spray painting. So let me cover these. I'm not gonna bore you with that. You know, anything that you want to use to cover them will work as long as you cover them correctly. You don't want any paint getting in there, any enamel getting in there. Okay, so give me a second, let me cover these and I'll get back with you guys. Okay, so very simple. We've already prepped the area, sanded. We used the acetone to clean the area. We used the rust pre-treatment. So now it's just a matter of painting. Like I said, I'm only going to paint the top, and it's just, I could leave it like that, but it's just because nobody's going to see this area. It's just so it will be conserved a little bit better. So let me get a pair of gloves. Give me just a second. So if you notice, I did use painter's tape now, just because I'm going to try to get as close to the edge as I can. So basically I'm gonna start in that area. It's about 108 degrees Texas today, so I wouldn't worry about bugs getting stuck to it, or it not being up to temperature, or it not being still being wet from hosing it down. But like I said, this is just a little treatment to preserve the tank. Try not to get any more rust on it. Okay guys, so here you have it. This is the final product. This takes very little time in Texas weather. It's just dried up already. So I wouldn't call this a whole a refurbish or whatsoever. It's just a brand new tank that I did some paint on it. But I wanted to show you, I want to show as much as I can of this restoration process, so you guys could enjoy it. If you could pick up a couple of pointers. I'm not a professional mechanic, but if you could pick up a couple of pointers, that would be great. So all I'm gonna do is just remove the painter's tape. I should leave it, but I wanna just show you, the benefits of using painter's tape. So you see, everything is nice and sanded, clean. So whenever I put the gaskets on it, it works out. They seal perfectly. So guys, if you like what you see, give me a subscribe. Man Media TV in YouTube, Man Media TV in Instagram. We are progressing with the FB build. We are progressing with the M3 build, and we are progressing with the CRX build. So remember, the FB and the M3, they're gonna be giveaways, they're gonna be sold. Something's gonna happen with my members, with my subscribers. So please subscribe, stay tuned for new content, and stay tuned for some surprises, giveaways, and all that. So guys, thank you for watching. Have a nice day, and on to the next one.